What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for episode 17 of Tigers Franchise, and we're here at the trade deadline with a nice little lead in the division. I think we're up 3.5 games over the Minnesota Twins at 57 and 46. Now, I did stop here despite pointing out, I think in each of the last two episodes, that I'm not sure that there's much for us to do. Now, that's different than saying we have no needs. We've got needs. We could use a big bat. But what the heck are we going to give for that? Are we going to dump our few prospects that we have? Alexis Shagoya at 22nd, Conrad Kaysen 66th, Hippolito Manos at 84th, Dylan Smith at 199th, and Reese Olson at 200th. Are we going to, Smith and Olson probably not even moving the needle for a major bat. Manos probably doesn't even do it by himself. So then you're talking about Shagoya or Kaysen has to be in the deal, and I'm just not sure that it's worth it, because I still look at our team and I think we can make a run with what we've got, and if we can't, then that's okay. We stick with what we've got, we move forward, we see how far this takes us, and then we keep pushing forward for 2026 and beyond. So that's kind of where I'm at, y'all. Taking a look at the ball club, I think we last talked at draft time, so we've gotten through most of this month. We're 13 and 10. It's been a little up and down, as you would expect, being just 3 games over 500. As you can see, we've won the first 2 here against Milwaukee at home, coming off a series win. Actually, we had a big road trip where we lost 2 out of 3 series. We dropped 2 of 3 in Washington, took 2 of 3 against the Mets in New York, and then dropped 2 of 3 at Cleveland before coming home and getting these first 2 games against Milwaukee. Before that, we had the sweep of Boston and 2 of 3 against the Cubs going into the break. And you guys had seen the Boston ones before the draft because the draft was on the 11th. So all in all, not too bad. Like where we're at. And, the pitching is our strength still. The hitting, the pieces are there. We could make a run. If things came up our way in October, it wouldn't be that out of pocket to see this team make a run. But they're going to have to do it as is. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to add a whole bunch. I've looked at the trade block. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Y'all are just going to have to trust me on it because, it's some same old stuff. Some all or nothing power guys that are out there. Nothing too impressive. Guys that are 30 and older, which is expected. I know no one's putting out a 25-year-old. But then if we want to get one of those cornerstones that we think we could build around, like I said, that goes back to giving Kaysen and Shagoya, if that even gets it done. We have the difficulty on decent trade difficulty. It's not packed to the highest end there, but we get plenty of difficult trades. We have the occasional one where we get over on them, I think, but plenty of trades are difficult when it comes to like a really no question about it stud type player. They don't just give them away, and that's good. We don't want that. So we're going to move forward here. I figure I would bring y'all on at this point as opposed to, deep into August or even into September, because then we can kind of follow it together. So looking at the offense again, I did want to point out Jace Young. I was gassing him up last episode, and nothing has really changed on that front. In fact, he's gotten better. He's up at a 141 WRC plus, already at 1.4 wins in just 197 plate appearances. He ripped 11 bombs. He either got must have been player of the week because the month isn't over. But yeah, American League names Young best batter. That happened on 7/28. It was a big 13 for 28, 4 homer, 11 ribby type of week. He's been amazing all month. Interestingly, at least as a tangential piece of news, his brother Josh Young traded over to the Twins. So now that brotherly rivalry jumps to another level here as we see Josh join our division, join our current chief rival, at least for this year, and now he and his brother can go toe-to-toe for that AL Central crown. So that's kind of interesting there. Let's see what they gave. They got Cameron Cawley along with him, who is a speedy defensive type, not much of a bat, can take a few walks, 22 years old, not a bad secondary piece. Those 2 for Louis Varland. Where's Varland at these days? Okay, that's a good deal for Minnesota, I think. I wonder if Texas might be overvaluing Varland or undervaluing Young. Let me take a look at Josh Young again. I mean, he's about what I expect. We only have low confidence on him right now in terms of scouting accuracy. Decent glove over at third, can play the four corners, 60 homer, 60 contact, or 55 contact with 60 potential, and then 50 gap, 45 eye, 40 avoid K. It is a bad plate profile. I will say that for sure. But he's been a plus bat pretty much his entire career, except for the 26 games, 102 plate appearances of 2022. That's really been the only time we've seen a bad Josh Young. So I thought they made a nice deal there for Minnesota. Like I said, they are our number one rivals right now. 3.5 games back of us, but the Guardians are on a win 5 and they're 5.5 back. They've stormed back into this mix here. Texas, for their part, is 51-51. They've lost 3 straight. They are 11 back in the division and 2 back in the wild card. So they're in the mix in the wild card. Let's take a look at their stats, their team stats. All right, their starters ERA is a problem. I don't think that not Gus Varland, that's his brother. I don't think Louis Varland necessarily fixes that. If I'm being honest, I like Louis Varland a bit in real life. I don't think he's developed all that much here in this universe. Where are they putting him? In the minors? Oh, no, they just traded for him. Okay. He's 50-50-55, which, again, that's not doing a whole lot. OSA likes him a little bit less. I think in real life right now, if I had to kind of eyeball it, I think he's closer to like 55, 45, 55 or 60 there on the control. I believe he's kind of fallen into what's become a little bit of a Minnesota thing, where if you look at it in an OOTP framework, they've got the stuff and control, but the movement is a problem. Joe Ryan, probably 60 stuff, 65, 70 control in real life right now, but 45 home run. Bailey Ober, 60 stuff, 60 control, 40 home run. Or movement, as it were. Louis Varland this year, had a 25% K rate, 6% walk rate, 6% home run rate. You can't have that. You can't equal your walks and home runs unless your walks are just minuscule. And listen, a 6% walk rate is very good, but it's got to be at like 2% to be able to match your home run rate. Anyway, tangent, unnecessary there. I think Varland in real life right now is a little bit better than this, but that's not the Varland that they got. So I think Minnesota got the better of that deal. Let's take a look at, I think this is going to end the deadline, which is fine. We're not doing anything. There you go. We can do the last day of offers. I think you can make final moves or whatever. I don't know. Joe Adell for Zach McKinstry? No. Torn ankle ligaments coming back from off the 60-day IL as well? Yeah, hard pass. Hard pass. What does Scott here say? You won't get any flack from me if you make this deal? Well, you should turn up your Flacco meter a little bit higher then, because we would get flack. That's a bad deal for us. That's just not, that doesn't fit our needs. I don't like a guy that strikes out at a 30 with a 35 rate, which is only translated to 21% Ks in 57 plate appearances. This is like a 30 plus K rate type guy at 35 avoid K. Let's see if there's been any big trades. Minnesota's still looking to deal. Apparently talking with Washington. Michael Lorenzen getting dealt. Toronto looking to trade Addison Barger, perhaps. Toronto trades Roque Salinas. Is it Roque or Roque? For Edward Gonzalez. Yeah, that's a minor league deal. Castellanos getting dealt. Okay, Philly dealing Castellanos over to the Cubs, back to the Cubs. Now he's out with a fractured finger for 3 weeks, so they're kind of buying on the upswing there, hoping to get him in a couple weeks. They also got Marco Soto, and they had to give Yoendris Gonzalez, which is a decent arm. Okay, I think Philly did well here. Now Casty, for his part, is having a solid year at the dish. He was good last year, and he was good in 23. So he's back after that tough first year in Philly in real life. I mean, it's here too. Sorry, I don't know why I implied that it was different than what we're seeing here. But he dipped down a little bit. I think he played through some injuries. Trying to earn your contract in the first year, and then he's bounced back. But I don't like that deal for the Cubs. I think they gave too much, especially because, well, actually no. The Cubs also got this prospect, so that balances out a little bit. That's right. But anyway, I'm trying to see if there's anything else big going on. I see a lot of teams trying to make deals, but I don't really see deals happening. Let's go to the, how do you get to this trade deadline? There we go. I was like, because if you go to it, it automatically ends it if you click that. All right, completed deals here. Spencer Jones, he's a 45. Ranger Suarez. Okay, so Philly's selling. Clearly, Spencer Jones is 24 for 29-year-old Ranger Suarez. We saw the Casti deal. We got that. Domingo Germán traded by the Red Sox. So he had moved from the Yankees to the Red Sox, interestingly enough. Now he's with Toronto. Was he doing the Steve Pearce tour around the AL East? Okay. Gabe Spire getting traded. I don't think he's anything, super great. Lucas Sims, solid reliever. Kenta Maeda, apparently the Tigers are rumored for him in real life. I don't hate that move. Still love him, right? He's older. Health is always a concern, but when Kenta Maeda is pitching, he's almost always quite good, as long as he's healthy. Let's see here. Judd Fabian, wasn't he a prospect of some note at some point? He can still mash it, and he's a good outfielder, so he's going to the Angels for Adam Simber. So that's a classic sell-off deal to get a prospect. I like that for them. Let's see here. Christian Charles. Oh, we do have something massive here. Christian Charles. Oh, he's a reliever. Okay, so he is very good, but massive overstates it. I just saw the blue. I saw 70 overall and 75 potential. I was like, uh-oh, we've got a monster. It is a monster reliever, but that's a little bit different than, a monster hitter or starter. Jose Gomez goes with him for Luis De Leon, who is a nice prospect. Okay, so they had to give to get here. San Diego getting him from Miami. They gave a nice big prospect here in Luis De Leon, who has an excellent plate profile, or at least projects to, with 70 I and 65 avoid K, 60 home run power. I mean, he could be an absolute stud. Frankly, I'm a little bit surprised that Luis De Leon isn't already a top 100 guy. I know he's young, but honestly, this game, as soon as a guy kind of has that big high upside, they jump into the top 100 pretty quickly. So I wonder if he'll be in the next update. That's a good trade for Miami there. And look, San Diego going for it. Let's see what their standing is right now. They're 54 and 49, which puts them third in the division, but actually they're tied for second, dead even tie with the D-backs, 3.5 back of the Dodgers, and in a 3-way tie for the last wild card. So they're going for it. They're trying to improve their bullpen, and that is a big improvement. Their bullpen ERA is 5th, but hey, you don't always just get to attack your direct weakness. They're 11th in starters ERA, and in a way, getting more bullpen still helps that, right? Because now you've got Hader and Charles to go hand in hand at the back end of the bullpen. You take some pressure off of Presley, who hasn't been that good despite still having great ratings. But the three of them together, that's a nice little three-headed monster. They got Robert Suarez back there too. They still have Jordan Hicks, who has nasty stuff. He's coming up. Oh, he's been up for 6 1/3 of scoreless work. He was a free agent signing here in the middle of the month. So he was just out there lingering, and they said, you know what, we'll scoop him. So yeah, they're trying to build out their bullpen to protect their starters. Their rotation is still filled with names. Lugo, Snell, Darvish, Montas, and Musgrove. These are all still dudes, name-wise. 3 of them are green at 55. The other 2 are yellow at 50. So, the skills are still there. This team could get scary at the right moment. They've just been kind of meandering through the season. A handful of games over 500. 15 and 11, 14 and 11. That's not bad. That's coming off the 11 and 15 May. But they could be dangerous. Let's see here, finishing up these trades. Keenan Middleton goes to the Padres as well. So they really went in on this bullpen. And they got Presley. They just got Presley. Wow. So they remade their bullpen, figuring there's not a lot of great starters out there. Let's just stock up the bullpen. And now if guys go 4 or 5 innings every time out, we can deal with it. Brandon Crawford going from the Nats to the Rangers. And he's still a decent glove, but that is it. Dan Jan going from the Padres for Montas. So they just brought in Montas as well. So they did address some of their starting rotation issues as well. They brought in several pitchers. Now here's another interesting deal. Evan Carter is only a minor leaguer. He's not developing the way he has in real life, the way we saw him explode onto the scene. And let's be clear, that doesn't mean that he's developed, in that we've only seen a small sample. There are no guarantees with Evan Carter. Now, I will say I'm very high on him. I believe he's going to be a dude. But the sample size that we've seen from him, even with the big playoff and all that, the nice little finish to the season, that is not a representative sample to make any sort of like definitive decision on a guy. 75 plate appearances in the regular season and another 72 in the playoffs. All of it excellent. That's a nothing sample. But he's 20. He has amazing plate skills. I do believe in him. But in this universe, he's been more pedestrian. He's a great fielder, good speed profile, and has a good eye. But that's it. In fact, I'd like to trade for him, but we can't anymore because we are on that last day of the deadline. Let's put him on like a trade target. I would go for him because at 22, going to be 23 by the time we can trade for him. He's still at a point where we could maybe bring him up a little bit, right? Because there's still a little bit of fives here, pretty much down the line. And then if he clicked with one of our coaches, then maybe we can do more there. I'm just a fan of his in real life too, so I am trying to just justify it. The bottom line is, though, he might not be that expensive because he's not that good in our universe. Chas McCormick getting traded to the Rangers from Houston, so a little intrastate trade there. We'll see how that goes. We talked about the Josh Young deal, the Casti deal, Daedric Cale. That's C-A-I-L, sorry. He's just a prospect. Nick Pivetta going from the White Sox to the A's for Rock Reggio. I've seen Rock Reggio be good, but that was more in last year's sims. I think I saw him be good in an old school sports sim. And then that's it. I think we're kind of caught up, and we can see if there's any other deals on the final day. But other than that, deadline's over. And we didn't do anything, and I'm okay with that. I told y'all that's what was going to happen, and that's how it played out. So let's see. We do have a new, new player development report. We'll get to that in a moment as well. Keith got Rookie of the Month. Colt Keith still over there cooking in Washington. He put up a 123 WRC plus in 99 plate appearances, 5 homers, 21 ribbies, 14 runs. This was after a modest June. He still had a 110 WRC plus in June, but just 1 homer, 9 ribs. So, just wasn't showing the power, driving in a ton of runs, but was still a plus bat. He just had an amazing season. I'm still not mad. I swear I'm not doing the, no, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm just truly not really bothered by it. I still think it was the right move for what we were going for. And for those that don't remember, that was getting Gabriel Arias, Jeremy De La Rosa, and Christian Hamilton. The bottom line, I think I already did this comparison, but just to show it again, how is he not just Zach McKinstry? Now McKinstry's an older version, and he did develop too. So keep in mind the Keith that we traded was a little bit worse than this. And frankly, I think McKinstry was a scotch better. If you look at it around, what time did we trade Colt Keith? Mid-December. Go back to McKinstry here. And so he had more power. He had 55 power. He had 55 contact, and that's it. So he had those two things, 55 contact, 55 power, and then all of a sudden you're talking almost a carbon copy of Keith. 7 years difference in age, I grant that, but we weren't really looking at that. I don't regret that move. Gabriel Arias' defense was more valuable to us than what Keith's bat could become. At the expected level, right? Of course, when you're trying to do projections and I don't run projections for this, I'm just saying like mentally you're thinking like 50th percentile, not 90th, 95th percentile, or even 100th percentile, which is what Keith's running at right now. And good for him. Good for him and the Nats. Because we got some prospects with it too, so I felt really good about that deal. I forget why I scouted Christian Encarnacion Strand, but I did. So that's cool. Corbin Dickerson, he's okay. July's best rookie in a class by himself, that's got to be Jace for us. And another thing that obviously lessens the damage of the Colt Keith and is the emergence of Jace, right? Because now they are a 1-to-1, and then you don't have to worry about the age piece either. Because now, it still favors Keith, That's how young he is, because he's 23 to Jace Young's 24. But then they're almost a dead match. That 15 extra avoid K for Keith, that is a nice advantage. Credit where it's due, but by and large, they're equal enough, and I'll take the extra defense. I'll trade that avoid K for the little bit of extra defense for Young. But all right, let's continue forward. Let's look at the player development report here. Kikito Severino loses some movement but gets some control. That's okay. He's got an interesting shape. Joel Baez, I think he's had a few jump ups. I keep clicking strategy. Yeah. Every update we're getting lately, Joel Baez moving up, and up. I think it might be high time to get him to AAA for sure. Let's do that for him. That puts him in a better mood too, so that's good. I like that. Sergio Tapia here with a big jump. Unfortunately, it's coming from a pretty low level, but he's now got several straight boosts in a row. Maybe he's somebody who's going to be popping off. Kale Lansville got a little love. Jack Hurley with a little small jump. Some low minors jumps here. Jorge Boyer, Moises Valero, Adinso Reyes, Javier Osorio, Christian Santana, Rowdy De Los Santos, Jack Clark, Grant Siegel, Cooper Rummel. I didn't realize there was going to be this many. Isaac Hill, Austin Overn, and Colton Hartman. So a bunch of jumps. Colton Hartman, I remember him with the big personality and the power. Drafted him in the 5th round. I think it was just on the power of those two things. I said, you know what? We'll go for him there, and we'll see what's what. These are still small samples, but it's looking like he's kind of figured out rookie ball. Might be time to get him a jump up. Now, he's not even going to return for another month or so, and this league might be done by then, but I think maybe let's send him to the Midwest League. He's going to jump 2 levels here. So, wait, did that just make him unhappy? Was he happy before that? Is this going to screw with him if I move him back to rookie and then all the way back up again? I think it might, but let's do it just the same. Let's see what happened here. Oh, no, he was still unhappy. Okay. For some reason, I thought he was in a decent mood and then got pissed when he got moved. The transactions do make him unhappy, so I guess something did change there, but whatever. He'll live. Renee Lastris got Rookie League Player of the Month. Okay. Oh, he's raking. He's a catcher, 22 years old. What's our rookie catcher situation? Oh, they want us to move up Kason Cunningham? Really? Really? Okay. Oh, yeah, because the plate skills are there. Yep, I actually agree then. Let's go Kason Cunningham there. How many catchers do we have at this level? We've got 1 million. Okay. So Lastris can move up. Now, how many catchers do we have at Lakeland? 1 million. Yep. Huge surprise there. Can any of these guys move up? And how many do we have in West Michigan? So always have 1 million catchers. Okay, we only have 2 here. Can we move 1 up? Because Colin Burgess is great. So let's do Midwest League. These catchers. All right, Ricardo Hurtado. Definitely ready to move up. Frankly, he might be due a couple jumps, but we've got 4 catchers at AA too. I might take too many catchers. Now, I think I purposely got Webster Rivas and Julio Rodriguez, but I think they were supposed to be split because they're both 60 catcher ability, and I think I was putting them in the minors to kind of help, the low tier pitchers, the minors pitchers. But I think Rodriguez was supposed to be in high A. But you know what? That ship sailed. And despite him being a 60 ability, should I move on from Rivas? He's literally 34. I do like that eye, though. You know what? I'm sticking with it. Julio Rodriguez got to go, though. All right. So everything's situated there. So now, I guess we kind of get through the rest of the season now. The one benefit to just simming offline and bringing y'all current, especially since we weren't doing anything during the deadline, was for some reason, with this sim specifically, my computer's been running slow with the sims. So we might not get through the entire rest of the season going, series by series. But let's get through August. We'll set the stage for the stretch run, and we'll kind of have everything in front of us. Basically, if we get to if we get to September 1st, I didn't mean to save twice. I meant to do something else. If we get to September 1st and we got a big lead, I'll do September pretty much offline. Like I'll sim till the last game of the regular season or something to set up the playoffs. Or if we're in a battle, then September will be its own episode and we'll really deep dive the stretch run. So with that in mind, let's get to August. We did have a White Sox game here to end the month. We lost 10-5. So that put us at 13-11 for the month. We've got 3 more here, all at home. The White Sox are 45-58, last in the division. We cannot blow these games. They do have 2 new starters coming in here. They claimed Brendan McKay off of waivers and just called him up. He's been good in the minors pretty much all year, so I don't know what they were waiting for calling him up. And then Ryan Hartman, control artist, not doing great in the minors, but worth calling up for this team, right? Lou Bob and Eloy, oh my God. They are batting 7-6 respectively, because I said them in that order, but Eloy 6, Robert 7th. That's kind of the perfect microcosm of where the White Sox are at, right? I think that nothing will better describe, just as a shorthand, like what's up with the White Sox. Eloy bats 6th and Robert bats 7th, and they deserve it. It's not like a computer error, or better yet, I guess a loan that wouldn't give all the context you need, but the people's first thought would be, oh, okay, things aren't going right. There is a world where you could say, hey, they've enriched their team so much over these 2+ years that now those 2 can bat lower, but that's not the answer. So after I got done shitting on them, let's go ahead and lose 3 out of 4 to them, because that's happening now, right? Game 2 does go our way. Good for us. I am going to switch it to once a month saving, which is dangerous, but in the interest of some speed here too. We don't want to be getting through this month, for 2 hours. Game 3, again, we lost the first game in July. It was July 31st. Game 3 goes to us, and finally game 4, and then we'll get a save. Or no, we won't get a save. We'll go to Monday, get a day off. Do we get 3 out of 4? No, we split. Okay, I'll take a 4-game split always. So we lose the first game 10-5. Jackson Jobe gets absolutely housed. And what's been a bummer here? Like in this last 2 weeks, 10 days of the month, some of our starters who've been pitching so well all year just absolutely got crushed. DaCosta, now he has been pitching well all year, but he got hammered. Then Scooble got murked. Hang on. Then Scooble got absolutely housed. Oh, Ashby, 2/3 of an inning, 5 runs. Where was Scooble's crushing? I can't remember. Let me just look him up. But I'm like, what's going on, man? Everyone taking their turn, just getting pummeled. It must have been this one back. Actually, the middle of the month, he had back-to-back duds. 6 and 5 runs in 3 1/3 and 3 2/3. And then he's been 3 straight quality starts since then. So he's back on track. But everyone was taking their turn. So now we have one guy with a sub-4 ERA. And look, everything's not ERA. We know that. But we had everyone but one guy, I think, with sub-4 until this month. So that's kind of annoying. So I think most of this data is scouting reports here. Let's see what Josh Young looks like after the most recent scouting update. His contact goes up. Okay, cool. DM Jefferson was somebody that was suggested to us as a potential pickup to trade for. Were they like, hey, do you want to go for this guy? And of course, his price was really high. In fairness to the computer, I was asking for, above average, like firmly good pitch batters. And so that's what they were bringing me. So that's okay. It is kind of funny, though, how they just suggest like some badass and they give no idea on how you might be able to get that done. They're like, hey, would best player in the league be good for us? Yeah. Yeah, I think he would. All right. So after who got shellacked in that first one? Job. So Job got smoked. Things didn't go well for us, although Josh Young did have another 2-hit day. Everyone had a hit. We had 15 hits, and we got smoked 10-5. That's a bummer there. Then we win 7-3. Ashby, 5 innings, 2 runs, 7 punchies. Torque hit his 19th. Parker Meadows hit his 5th. Watanabe is 22nd. He's coming on, by the way. Willie Adames his 15th. 3 no-hit innings. Perfect innings for Elpidio Perez. I'm telling y'all, should have just had him in the bullpen from the jump, but you know I got to try my 35 Stams and see if they work. Sometimes they don't, but the transition back to the bullpen has been magical. He's a god. Then game 3, we take 9-1. That's DaCosta getting back on track. 5 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run. Doubles for Green, Watanabe, Parker Meadows. No bombs for us, but a lot of hits there, 11 hits. Everyone didn't get a hit. We had multi-hits from Watanabe and Green, Dingler, and Meadows. Like I said, 3 for 3 there for Watanabe. He's coming on. I'll get into his stats in a moment. And then we lose the last one, 3-1. Skubal pitched brilliantly, but does take the loss. 6 innings of 1-run ball. Perez and Enriquez each give up a run. Bregman goes yard. Young does get a hit. He's been getting a hit in like every damn game lately. Is he on a hit streak? Oh, no. He went hitless in the 7-3 win. And then a couple hitless there. Never mind. He did have a little streak going here, though, from 7-11 to 7-27. And that included his player of the week period as well. So he was cooking there. He's obviously been on fire. But Watanabe, let's get into him. He does go 0 for 4 here. But you're not going to be wowed by looking at his bottom line numbers. 81 WRC plus, minus 0.7 WAR. Big part of that is also that he's been DH most of the year. So he doesn't have the opportunity to contribute defensively. Even though he's not a good defender, you still have a hard time putting up a good WAR as a DH, especially when you're not hitting. But July, I mentioned he's coming on a bit, 102 WRC plus. And before you start laughing, because this guy was an absolute stud last year, keep in mind he's coming off a 32 in June, 129 in May, 37 in April. So up, or down, up, down, up. And now a fast start in August, build on it. Let's go. We need Watanabe to really get going here. Get a day off, and then we head out west to Oakland. As we head home, we stop off in Chicago to see the White Sox, and then we'll be home for the Rays in a week. So let's go ahead and get to those games. Oakland, by the way, not good in this universe. Remember, I mistakenly said that they're good, conflating mine and PF Holden's sims. They're 50 and 56, though. They're playing better than they were that time we checked in. So we must have checked in sometime in May when things were going very poorly, and then they went 15 and 12 in June, 12 and 13 in July, and then they're 0-3 this month. 50 and 56 isn't great, but I think they were like bottom of the league, looking really terrible when we had checked in on them. Game 1 in Oakland. Boy, I can't just go dead silent on these sims, man, because they take fucking forever, man. Golly. Again, I'm not sure what settings I've got that are different from my normal ones, too. Like, I don't know. I guess we don't need the 3D movements. Does that help at all? I guess we'll find out. Do we need all of the injury logs? Maybe not. Maybe the transaction logs from the last 2 years? I don't know, the sim isn't that deep, right? So it's not like holding 15 years of info. It just seems to have slowed down more than a lot of my other sims. So I don't know. If you see something in there that you're like, well, that's probably your issue, let me know. But anyway, 6-1 loss in the first game. Morion gets killed. See? Starters all taking their turns getting pummeled. Come on, man. Game 2. We should at least figure out where we're at on the rotation so I know who's going to be starting these games. We lose 7-1, so the offense is now shit the bed. Hopefully that's not Job getting smoked, but it probably is. He was okay. The bullpen actually got murked. Elpidio after I talked him up. Of course, he's given up runs in each of his last 2 outings. Did we get smoked by Eliezer Hernandez? Come on. Now, if I'm going to be fair, he's literally in his perfect park now in Oakland, because he's a home run machine, and that is the park he needs to be in. Miami was a pretty good one for him too, if we're being fair. But did you guys see me just try to adjust what I thought was a baseball cap, but instead I'm wearing a beanie right now? Yeah, I did that. And then where are my glasses fans at people who wear glasses and you have them off? Do you ever try to adjust when they're not there? You're lying if you say you don't, because I definitely do. 3 hits for Josh Young, 2 for Adames in the meager 6-hit effort. I do like that Josh Young just keeps killing it, or Jace Young. Rolando Cirret is cooked. He's going to be out for a year with a torn UCL, and he had an 8.49 ERA and a 2.43 WHIP this year. I think that might be done. I'm not sure where this is going to go. I mean, I guess we can keep him around because he's not going to be eating up anybody's innings for a year, but he's as good as cut at this point. All right, can we salvage one in Oakland? For the love of Pete, please. I forget who's starting, but it's our 4 starter after Job. It's a lefty. I know that for sure because we got a ton of lefties. 12-4 win, Ashby. 6 innings of 2-run ball. I love that. Flores gets hit for a couple, but that's okay. Didn't matter because we blasted on Gavin Collier, control artist, but he's extreme fly ball with 40 movement. Even in Oakland, sometimes that's going to get you, and we get 2 homers off of him. Only 2 solo shots, though, so you can't even really say it was that. We got 5 runs total. We dropped 17 hits in this game. Every starter except Bregman got a hit. Many of them multi-hits. 2 for Jace, 2 for Torque, 2 for Green, Adames, 2 for Alcantara, 3 for Dingler, 2 for Parker. Watanabe only got 1, but he had 3 walks. So we're very happy with the performance. And, for Bregman's part, you know that even if he doesn't get a hit, he's gonna get a walk, and he did. He got 2, so all good there. They're still getting on base, and that's what we appreciate. So now we head out to the White Sox, and we know that they're 48-61 because we just played them. So let's see what we can do here. I think we're gonna be at DaCosta here. Is that right? I think that's the case at least. 9-1. 9-1 dub. Scooble, brilliant. Elpidio, 1 2/3, perfect. Torque goes yard. Green goes yard. Badu, Young, Watanabe, all the studs, baby. 3 more hits for Jace Young. 2 more for Watanabe. There we go. Now, I think I'm going to go with the don't fix what ain't broken thing, but I was thinking might be about time to move Watanabe back up. Now, if you watched last episode, which I presume you're watching them in order, you know that I had moved him down, I think, to 7 or at least 6. He was down there, but I already moved him back up to 5 before, even this recent decent run. So maybe we just leave him there right now. And again, don't fix what isn't broken. Just let him keep doing his thing. We got Badu. Badu's still playing well. Still doing his thing against lefties in very, 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 very limited time. But 207 plate appearances against righties, 105 WRC plus. That's what we like to see. Okay. How's Alcantara doing? You know what? I don't think he needs to play every second against righties. He can just back up. Badu there. I wonder if we need another outfielder. Or at least let McKinstry or even Arias. Can Arias play the outfield at all? Oh, straight 55s. I bet he can. Just because I don't want to overwork Alcantara as a backup. We have Torque backing up right field. I guess he's a 55 out there. Okay. He's straight 55s down the line too. Oh, all right. Good to see. Do we need some updated scouting reports here? Just on Torque and Jason Delay. I always got to be up very high. can't help it. I'm super annoying about it. I just see it. I'm like, just in case. What if there's an update? All right. So Scooble dominated there. Now it'll be DaCosta. So they went to Scooble, then DaCosta. So it's not quite in order. It's always the highest rested. So now let's see what DaCosta can do in game 2 after the 9-1 win. And we lose 9-1. Okay. What's with getting clocked every time we lose right now? Watanabe does go yard. Jace Young does get a little base knock. Jackson Coar gets cooked. The bullpen was terrible. DaCosta was okay. 4 1/3, 2 runs. No issues with that, but everything else sucked. Gross. All right, give me the series here. Come on. Then we got Tampa Bay coming to visit. Watching this guy, Alabama-Auburn here. Alabama just took a lead very late. They were in big trouble. But then this Auburn kick returner, I think his shoulder's out of place, and they were putting it back in. And the wince on his face made me feel his pain. Oh, jeez. Now there's a fumble, ball in the end zone. That's not good. Anyway, 4-3 win. We get the series. Adrian Morejon does give up all 3, but it was in 4 1/3. The bullpen comes in, shuts it down. Parker Meadows goes bomb. Jace Young goes bomb. Watanabe goes over 2, but did have a walk and a sac fly. So not a bad game. All right, Tampa Bay. They are 67-45. This will be a nice matchup here. We're going to face Rasmussen, Bradley, and Boz. They still have their rotation intact here. Glasnow, Rasmussen, Bradley, Boz, Eflin. These are all current Rays. Respect to them, especially, they're a team that has a lot of turnover on things. And so you wouldn't be surprised, by the way, Bama scores at the last second. I don't know what the spread was, but that'd be crazy if they scored that meaningless touchdown and then it changed something for the guys in the desert, as Brent Musburger used to say. But anyway, yeah, Springs is on the IL, another guy that they currently have too. So they've kept a lot of guys around. They did get Royce Lewis. Okay, that seems unfair. For McClanahan, so one of the pitchers that isn't around, I didn't even process that he wasn't there, is in Minnesota. Was that just a one-for-one deal? Oh, they got Joe Vitrano along with him. Tampa Bay did. Whatever. It's basically a one-for-one deal. It's very Rays to get a little sprinkle and get that little extra throw in there. Like, no, we got to get the extra guy. All right, but they're good. Let's see what we can do against them. Game 1 here, as we move into the 11th of August. 5-3 win. We've now won 4 out of 5. Let's see here. Job, 5 1/3, 2 runs. Very nice. Drew Rasmussen got knocked around for 3 and 3 2/3. Doubles for Days. 2 for Parker Meadows. 2 for Jason DeLay. 1 for Arias. Parker Meadows was leading off there, going 2 for 4. Love that in a fill-in situation. Okay. Game 1 in the books for us. Game 2 coming up. Then we get an off day, and then Pittsburgh comes to visit. Man, we got a lot of off days coming up, because then we go to Milwaukee for 2, sandwiched by off days. We lose 5-2 in 10. Ouch. Nate Pearson gets knocked around. That's a bummer. Jace Young goes yard. Ah, dang. I'd rather have the win than the Jace Young homer in that case, though. All right, let's get the series against a good team here. We rescout Torque, and his numbers go up. His overall and his potential both go up, which means he probably got incremental, like 2 to 4 point gains. Because don't forget, these are on the 5s, right? So if this is actually at 63i, then we don't know that. So he got like maybe supplemental gains that were enough to push him. But wait. This says, oh, wait, sorry. I misread it. His overall moves from 55 to 60, and his potential moves from 60 to 65. So he did move up there. I just said it wrong. And then Jason DeLay got rescouted too. Did anything go up? Oh, his power up to a 35. Okay, we like to see it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, game 3. Give me the rubber match here. Come on, beat these Rays going into a day off. Come on, do your thing, team. 5-0 loss. Shane Boz dusts us. Scooble was right there with him. 2 runs in 5 innings, kept us in the game, but then Coar comes in, shits the bed. And boy, we got a big disconnect here right now with Coar. He got a solid 15% strikeout minus walk, but a 383 BABIP and a 1.3 homer 9 are really holding him back. Problem is, to make a move, we got to DFA him. I think for now we'll avoid high leverage and we'll put him in some mop-up duty. I don't think I'm going to make a move just to make a move, but it's really bad. He's clearly the weak link in our bullpen. Angel Felipe is right there with him. 17% strikeout minus walk, which is excellent, but a 352 BABIP and a 1.6 homer 9, so the same issues. And he's mixed in a couple decent months, but this has been a persistent issue. Why is he giving him so many damn hits? Extreme ground ball. Coar is neutral. And our defense isn't bad. I mean, defensive efficiency is down to 8th. Our zone rating is 2nd. We got Jace Young at second base, who's okay. Bregman at 3rd is a bit challenged. And then Adames at short, who's good. So we have a good infield. Torque at first. First not the biggest issue defensively, but he's there hanging out. I don't know. I wish I could see what Watanabe does when he plays second and what he does when he plays DH. I wish they had the position performance. Because I just want to see, again, DH it's an observed 10% penalty. It's been studied that DHs are just 10% worse on average, right? David Ortiz didn't seem to have any issues DHing. There's certain guys, of course, but you can expect about a 10% dip. So we've been trying to bounce him into second some to make sure that he's not just always taking the 10% hit, which I do believe the game observes with DHs. So I've been trying to make sure he stays in the field every once and again. He's the first baseman against lefties. So we'll see for Watanabe. All right, well, we lose that one. We got Pittsburgh coming in to visit. They're 44-72. So let's sim all three of those and then we can review, right? I don't know if we need to go game by game, especially with this slow ass sim for a team like Pittsburgh. Doesn't mean we're gonna beat them. I know that. I know how this game gets. But we're still holding a half game lead over Minnesota. It's very tight here. And Adrian Morejon, elbow inflammation, out for 3 months. Okay. And that's literally the first game. We win 3-0. Pyrrhic victory, though. Because despite the great effort by Morejon, Perez, and Enriquez, we lose our guy. Now, he was at a 4.32 ERA and a 1.25 WHIP for 123 innings, so things had fallen on a little bit of hard times. We saw the one shellacking that he took, the Oakland start. Looking by game score, you see another shellacking there at Washington, another one at Texas. Like, his duds really killed him. But this is the kind of guy that I'm still always going to prefer over somebody who's like 4 to 6 innings with 2 to 4 runs, kind of like always living in that level. Obviously, the best of it, 6 innings, 2 runs, is really good. But you're more consistently kind of doing like 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 innings, 3 runs. It's just kind of always in that middle. What you have here with Morejon is great, dud, great, dud. Like that sort of setup, which I like. I feel like you can iron out the duds, whereas a guy who just kind of always lives in the same level, that's probably who he is. It's anecdotal, it's not science, but generally I'm going to prefer the guy who can drop the gems more consistently to take the occasional dud. Problem with Morejon, though, is he really is a five and dive kind of guy. He had 25 starts, averaging 4.92 per, so not even the full 5. So we're going to lose him. That absolutely sucks. Let's go ahead and put him on the IL. Where's he at here? Oof, they're really not liking him anymore either. They got him as a 40 rating. Okay. Well, we'll see what he looks like when he gets back. We'll put him on the 15. Obviously, he's done for the year. If we need that spot, we'll move him to the 60. But right now, we're good. We have a spot. We can call somebody up. Who are we going to call? Ghostbusters, obviously. Reese Olson. Decent performance. Mosquito. I think we want to call somebody up who can ostensibly start. Like CD-ROM's been good out of the bullpen, but Reese Olson's starting. Does have 45 stam. Somebody who's on the 40 as well. Does Broke Brisky need to be on the 40? Probably not, but we don't need to remove him right now because we don't need the spot. Let's see recent performance. Let's go July. You got Ty Madden. You got Olsen with a 15% strikeout minus walk, but a 6.40 ERA. I wish you could do, you could pick your split, right? Like, can we do July 1st through today's date, August 16th, get a bigger chunk, you know, kind of get the 6-week look instead of just by month. Yeah, I keep coming back to Olsen. He's putting up the best numbers from a strikeout to walk standpoint, and that's just kind of the core of what we're going to go off of here. You know, he's still, you know, Manning and Madden both have better ERA and WHIP, but kind of the, you know, not, I don't want to say markedly worse strikeout minus walk, 15% for Olsen, 11% for both Madden and Manning. So it's a difference. It's not crazy, but it's enough. It's enough of a difference. Home runs are a problem for Olsen, but he has 55 movement. So maybe that's a little bit fluky. Yeah, I think Olsen's our guy. Promote him to Detroit. And join the rotation. I think we're going with Reese Olson. We'll click down his pitch round's already clicked down a couple. We'll go with that, and we'll see how things go with him. Still going to sim to the next week to get through this Pittsburgh series. We did win the first game, 3-0. Looks like Minnesota won as well because our half game edge remains. Oh, and now we're a half game back because Pittsburgh has 45 wins, which means they beat us, which pisses me off. And then game 3 better be a freaking win. It is. Okay, so 3-0 win. Showed that one already. 3-2 loss. Tight one. Oh, Perez, dude. We have seen him run the gamut. Or actually, no, he hasn't run the gamut because that means he, you know, kind of hits every level. He's been a guardrail guy. He's either been unbelievably amazing or getting his face caved in during this sim here. Either going perfect for 3 innings or giving up multiple runs. More of the former than the latter. More of the good stuff than the bad stuff, but still. Can we get rid of some of these duds? But he gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, and he just gets cooked. Paul Skeens looks amazing, by the way. We'll see if they can build around him, but they got their ace, that's for sure. And then we win 6-2 to finish off the series. Our old friend Casey Mize, who we traded to them for Elpidio Perez. I forgot that Perez was from Pittsburgh, so that was a revenge match. Meanwhile, Reese Olson in his season debut for us, 5 innings of 2-run ball, and he gets the dub. Welcome. Is that his major league debut? No. He had 2 innings last year. So, first start though, right? Yes, first major league start. And it went pretty well. All right, now we go to Milwaukee and the Dodgers. Milwaukee is 61-58. That has them 4th in the division. The AL Central is a beast division, apparently. Okay. And then the Dodgers, of course, 67-51. So big week. They lead their division by 4 over the D-backs and Padres, who've been deadlocked in a tie for quite some time. So let's get through the off day. We got a quick 2 in Milwaukee. Let's go drink some beer, eat some brats, and win some baseball games. Hopefully. As I clean my glasses, And you know I'm going for a drink of water here for game one. And let's see what we can do. I think before the next video, I'm going to just restart everything. Maybe the computer's just been on too long type of deal. Because I don't know why it goes so slowly. I cannot forget this personnel. I need to do this offline before the next episode. So I'm going to write that down. Actually, I'll write that down when the second game is simming. Because I got to fill the time somehow. Because it takes forever. All right, we lose 5-2. Justin Jarvis with a solid outing against us. I mean, a great outing, 6 innings of scoreless ball. Perez, again, smoked. What the fuck, dude? Why is it so all or nothing? I don't get it. It's pissing me off now. I was, kind of not laughing at it. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Now I'm just like, why? Why the fuck? But anyway. Sign the personnel, Paul. Or at least the ones that we want, right? Putting some stars around it so I don't miss it. All right, then we do win 3-1. So we split that little 2-pack. Let's get an off day here before we head out to LA. And then we got Houston and Seattle at home for 7 after this little 3-gamer in LA. 3-1 box score shows Ashby pitching brilliantly and the bullpen backing him up. Enriquez did give up a run, make it a little bit closer there, put a little scare in, but he ended up shutting it down there. Pepio, they got a little pep in their step. He 18% strikeout minus walk. Okay, he's pretty good for them. By the way, really impressed with him this year in real life. Oh, they got him off waivers. How he's been able to really improve his command. I'm talking real life. He's not a 40 control in real life right now. He's probably closer to a 50-55. Like, it not only improved a ton from about a 40, but it might be plus right now. That's how much better he that's how much better he got. And I'm just like super impressed by that. So, oh, they do have Evan Carter called up now. He's got a hot -8 for them. We're gonna trade for him. We're gonna turn Evan Carter into something. I'm gonna make him a pet project. Ooh, Jared Schuster, recovering from injury. Has he gotten better? Let's see what our new scout thinks of him, because we traded him under the old regime. I just kind of want to see what's what. Do we still have guys on the list? Task list is one guy. Why is that going to take you 2 weeks? He's like, I've scouted 950 guys since I started this job. Give me a break. No. Go scout injured Jared Schuster. You have to go to Iowa to do that. All right, 3 against the Dodgers. I don't know why I said White Sox. It'll be Olsen, Job, Ashby, I think. Let's see here. Based on fatigue, Olsen, Job. Okay, Ashby's not ready, so we can just move. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's readjust this. I'm going to put Ashby at 2. We'll move to Olsen, so then I'll go Olsen, Job, DaCosta. And then Skubal and Ashby. Now that's on order. It always does this, the highest rested anyway, but now it'll go in that same order because I've readjusted them based on their stamina. We are going to move Job up. We want him to get game 1 here. And then I think let's go right, left, right. Also, so that we don't have 3 lefties in a row with DaCosta and then Skubal and Ashby. Let's also see what the Dodgers do against righties and lefties. That might change our decision a little. Against lefties, oh, they suck. 392 win percentage. They're 11-17. 623 against righties. Still going to stick with Job. And then DaCosta. And I don't know if Skubal will be ready in time, but if he is, we'll jump him up. Game 1 at the Dodgers. We got Walker Buehler for them. Here we go. Friday night game in LA. Let's see what we can do. Give me some green here. 11-3, we get crushed. Jackson Jobe gets absolutely pummeled. What the hell? Yo, I'm starting to get pissed. Like, why so many just destruction starts? Maybe I need to turn that down, turn on the aggressive turn. I don't know. Nothing would have saved him there. He threw an inning in 2/3. I don't think they ran him into the ground. 47 pitches, you let one of your better starters kind of try to figure it out even in a struggle like this. So I don't think they overdid it, but there's been so many of these within this sim. Like he had back-to-back ones here, 25 and 31 in July. And then 3 straight solid starts, none of them quality because he went 5, 5 and a third, and 5. And then this destruction. It's just like, come on. He's 55 stamina too. That's why I had his hook pushed up. I'm going to keep it pushed up. We'll keep the aggressive tiredness hook on. But give me a break here. Jace Young goes yard twice. Love to see that. Torque goes yard too, but it's all for naught, as those 3 homers are not enough to overcome their 11-run barrage. So we got DaCosta here. Let's see. Hopefully they struggle against lefties. At least give us a rubber game for Sunday. Come on, Franklin. Franklin DaCosta loses 4-3. And he didn't pitch that well. 4 1/3, 3 runs. Young goes yard again. Riley Green hits his 20th. But Gabriel Hughes with a really strong outing against us. They got him from Colorado. In another one of my sims this year, I don't remember which one, Gabriel Hughes was a stud Cy Young winner for Colorado, which was really cool. They traded Emmett Sheehan for him. Maybe they should have just stuck with Hughes. Way to go. All right, can we salvage one in LA? That's what this has turned into now. Here's the thing. Unless we basically sweep this week against Houston and Seattle, we're getting a September episode. We do win 7-6 and 11. It was Scooble. It didn't matter. He didn't pitch very well. Thankfully, we did still win. Green goes yard again. Bregman does too. So does Adames. 0 for 6 for Josh Young. But hey, he's due a tough one. But yeah, so going back to the standings, we're in a dead heat. Just making sure we don't have anybody to negotiate with. So yeah, Houston's in last at 47 and 77, but then Seattle's in first at 75 and 49. I think what I'm going to do, just kind of looking at the time and everything, let's get the Houston series here, and then we're going to set up for these last 4 against Seattle and September. We'll kind of loop the 4-game series into the stretch run, and we'll do all that as an episode. Hopefully I can figure out the simming so it's tighter, because yeah, these should not be taking this long. We're not even doing the save on every Monday either. We do win the first 2 here. We're cooking Houston. 8-3, 8-2. Give me an 8-1 win for the symmetry. Game 3, 4-2 win. We'll take it. So 8-3. Christian Javier, he was decent, but then Lionel Ovias got smoked. Good reliever, but actually could start maybe too. But he got absolutely crushed. Ashby, Deese, Torque, and Bregman go yard. Then we win 8-2. Reese Olson was excellent. Hunter Brown, not so much. Trevor Williams, it looks like. Yeah, he got crushed out of the pen too. Adames, Meadows, Young, and Bregman go yard. Bregman on fire right now, isn't he? I mean, maybe not. He might not have the fire sign, but he's like been hitting well of late. And then 4-2 for the sweep. Job, solid, did put on 8 base runners, but only one of them scored. Enriquez, Herder, and Pearson close it out. Green and Watanabe go yard. Okay, so 3-game sweep. Where does that put us? Oh, we got our Schuster report. His control went up. All right, so after that 3-game sweep, Minnesota kept the pace. They swept as well. All right, it's like that. They swept Milwaukee. All right, we got ourselves a battle, y'all. And you know what? I'm here for it. This is going to be a fun stretch run. We should be set up, to make the playoffs at least as a wild card if we don't win the division. But we want to win the division. Make no mistake about it. So, do a little preview of the schedule. And then we'll get out of here and set up for a stretch run episode. 4 against Seattle, as I mentioned. We're going to get all of their starters except for Carlos Luna, who looks like he just pitched. He's probably the worst of the bunch, at least ratings-wise and statistically. Although Robbie Ray's right there. They're both kind of crummy. But either way, looks like we're going to get Kirby, Castillo, Gilbert, and Ray. for those four. So then we'll flip the calendar over to September. We go 3 at the Yankees, and they're 68 and 58. They're good. Then, here we go. This early September is going to be instrumental. We get 6 out of 9 against Minnesota. We run a home and home with them, a couple of weekend series. You know, Comerica and Target are going to be going crazy for these two series. We squinch in a little trip to KC in the middle. They're 57 and 72. And then we get them again, so it's a home and home with them too. So we go Twins at home, KC on the road, Twins on the road, KC at home. Then we stay home. Cleveland comes to visit. We know that they're pretty solid at 63 and 64. They could play some spoiler, and I believe they're still in fringe contention at least. 5.5 games back. Yeah, fringe contention. It could be, they're going to kind of know they're going to have a good handle on their fate by then. Are they back in the mix completely, or are they still 5+ out and trying to play spoiler? Then we head out to Miami. Can't be partying down there, y'all. They are 50 and 77, though, so it could be a party on the field, hopefully. Then we go to Baltimore as we make our way, back up home. They're 70 and 57. That's not going to be easy. Then San Francisco comes to visit. They're 58 and 69. And then San Diego comes to visit after them, and we know that they're good at 68 and 60. So this is a bear of a schedule. This is not going to be easy. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, though. So the next episode is going to be all of the stretch run. We're going to figure out exactly what's going on with this ball club and what our fate is going to be. Will we be division winners? Will we be wild card winners? Will we be playoff chokers and not even have a spot altogether? You'll have to tune in to see. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Hit a like. Hit a subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.